One of the things I love about living in the country is the intimate connection those of us who live here have with nature. It doesn't take a scientific manual or identification book to understand it, just a willingness to sharpen your powers of perception. There is always more to learn through books and education, but I've found so much education is able to be had just through the capacity of our own private study. Autumn is a perfect time to sharpen your discernment. In fact, you don't even need a calendar to let you know when the time has come. Your senses will tell you, if you are attuned to them. We all know the obvious indicators: wood smoke in the air, soups bubbling on the stove, cinnamon and spice and crunching leaves. The challenge is to go further, to train your senses to more deeply perceive the changes. The sense of smell. The air smells different, with a fullness and ripeness that wasn't there before. In the afternoon, the sun-warmed air has a well-seasoned odor. The wild grapes give off a musky scent, and the damp leaves smell primal and robust. The garden holds the interesting aroma of vegetables past their prime and decaying plant matter, soon to be cleaned up and replaced with smells of shredded earthy leaves. The sense of hearing. The sounds of the spring and summer decrescendo to a morning quietness that is almost startling. When the sounds finally do begin after the sun has warmed up the earth, you will notice that they are the sounds of morning. The catbirds quietly mew from their perches, much more subdued now than they were weeks ago. The crickets and katydids even seem to have lost some enthusiasm. Geese honk overhead in lamenting tones. At night, the hooting of the great horned owl may awaken you from your sleep. The sense of sight. This is the season of the color, the vibrant, rich, strong, bold colors of autumn. Spring has its delicate, exquisite, and dainty colors. Summer holds the title for all the restful and placid greens. Winter, although seemingly colorless to some, does display muted and indistinct hues. But autumn, more than any other season, has a power to its color palette. I like to think autumn is giving us something to remember it by, as it ushers out the ending of the year in a blaze of glory. With your eyes you will see birds gathering together, which up until now had been quite independent. The northern flickers are all over the yard, using their long bills to forage for insects. Blackbirds and swallows have already assembled and departed in their migratory flight. The hawk count has begun on Hawk Mountain. The non-winged residents have started gathering food for the winter. Groundhogs and squirrels are frequent visitors to the pin oaks, eating and storing away as many acorns as they can. A sharp eye is out for black bears, and special care is taken to avoid the destruction of bird feeders. Woolly bear caterpillars seem to appear out of nowhere and start crossing the roads as if they know where they are going. The color begins, from the crimson of the Virginia creeper to the yellow golds of the poison ivy, soon joined by the brilliant yellows of the birch and fiery orange reds of the maple. The nut trees lose their leaves early, and after the first September rainstorm, you awaken one morning to see only the bones of those trees. Dogwood berries are bright scarlet, if you're fortunate enough to see them before the birds start to consume them. And the mums are blooming in every autumn shade imaginable. The sense of intuition. Intuition will tell you when the first killing frost will come. After sunset, the wind will still, and a new coolness will be felt, and you know a frosty world will await you in the morning. The winds go back and forth from soft and pleasant to restless and agitated. There is a yearning in our hearts to experience the outdoors again, to hike and bike and leisurely stroll around the yard as the sun goes down. The sense of taste. Our culinary thoughts turn to heartier foods, squashes from the garden, prepared with the autumn spices and brown sugars, warm applesauce, slightly sweetened, and tangy apple cider, cold and refreshing for a sunny afternoon, or warm and spicy for a cool fall night. Soups have returned, and fresh baked bread, and all the foods that pleasantly heat up our kitchens with their preparation. We savor the last of the summer tomatoes, but have eaten enough to feel content with their departure. Comfort is found in hot cups of tea and coffee, and the sweet first taste of hot chocolate feels like the return of an old friend. Our senses, which may have become dulled by summer's heat, come alive again and are eager to experience all the season has to offer. Train your senses so that you can appreciate the autumn season in a way you never have before. The season is a gift, so unwrap it slowly in gratitude and thanksgiving.